Now for the top story night reaction. First up, Fox News senior political analyst Brit Hume, who joins us now here in New York City. So of all of these polls, they just come cascading in. Which surprises you the most?
Well, the most striking number you cited is that generic poll number, so-called, that you cited from Gallup.
15%.
15%. That is about double what it was in 1994 when the Republicans picked up 52 seats, and before it was all done, they had 54, a net gain of 54. So if that number holds, if that number proves accurate, and it was confirmed to some extent by Scott Rasmussen's number that came out today, which was plus 12 Republicans. So it's essentially the same number when you account for the margin of error. If this holds, we're talking about a Republican victory in the House of Representatives. It'll go way beyond the predicted 55 or 60. This could get way up in the 60s, into the 70s, and possibly even higher.
Here's what the folks, and me too, because you're the political expert. I know politics and I follow, but I don't know it like Hume knows it. A lot of this 55 to 40 Republican advantage is stacked, I think, in certain states. You know, in the Sun Belt states, in the Midwest, in Ohio, for example. Ohio's turned big time against the Democrats. There's no doubt about it. Okay? But in the liberal states like California, Washington State, here in New York, the Democrats seem to be holding on.
Well, if this number, 55 to 40, 15 points, is right, even in states like that, Carly Fiorina would have a very good chance of winning if that number
So
holds.
you're reading it like these poll numbers may not be taken into account.
Well,
the wave.
The wave effect can mean two things. One is, of course, you get a big Republican vote, and you may have a very much suppressed Democratic turnout, even among people who say they're going to vote but may not.
Right.
So, you know, we could be looking, if it goes big the way it's possible it will go, not only will all these house guys and women win on the Republican side, but a lot of these candidates for the Senate,
but it doesn't really matter.
All win.
In the House, it doesn't really, and correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't really matter how many more seats you have than the other party, as long as you have the majority.
Well, that's not quite right. I mean, it doesn't matter as much. But remember this. It'll make a big difference in the political effect in Washington, whether they win 45 or 50 seats or whether they win 65, 70,
Why?
75 seats. Because the
difference?
Message from the electorate will be so much more resounding.
Okay, so it's just a matter of embarrassment for the Democratic Party.
Well, it's not just a matter of embarrassment. It's a matter of how you assess it. If you lose 40, 45 seats after the predictions were higher, you say, well, we had a bad economy. And bad economy is all you never can win.
But if you lose more than 60, then we hate you.
We don't like your method of governance.
Right. We hate you.
We don't like your liberal policies.
All right.
It's not just the economy. That's a very important difference.
I talked to a rabid Republican and a rabid Democrat today. I can name the Democrat, Marianne Marsh, up in Massachusetts, and she says, even in Massachusetts, everybody's worried. Barney Frank is worried.
Think of that.
Yeah, Barney's worried. Yeah. I mean, Barney's so worried that he actually lent his campaign some of his own money. Now, if you know Barney, that means he's really worried. He's lending his own money, okay? So then he probably borrowed from Fannie and Freddie because he's in charge, of course. So Barney's worried, and Marianne thinks that Deval Patrick may lose.
Yeah, he may lose.
May lose. Right. I mean, that's Obama's best friend.
Well, there you go. That is a blue state.
More than blue.
Exactly.
Right. That's like
navy blue. Right. Navy blue state.
But the Republican guy says this is too much cockiness, and you heard President Obama say that a lot of Republicans who may turn out will say, we're going to win anyway, and I won't. Even though I'm teed off, I got stuff to do, So there's some Republican angst about it's too early, we peaked too early, we want to peak tomorrow, not on Monday.
Well, you always want that. I mean, you always want that. But look, make no mistake about it, Bill. This is, the thing that Republicans need to recognize is this is not a great vote for the Republican Party.
No, it's against
This is
them.
an anti-Democrat, anti-Obama protest vote.
Right.
And what Republicans will get out of this, if they get the minimum, that would be the House of Representatives, is a lease on power in one branch of one branch. That's not huge. And they'll then have the opportunity to do something with it.
No, but the governor's stuff makes Barack Obama's road a lot harder.
That's true.
Now, you were covering Bill Clinton when he got whacked in '94, right?
Right.
Okay. So I want to have you on next week to compare what the Obama reaction will be on Wednesday, Thursday, to what the what the Clinton reaction was. Because the president is going to lose a lot of his power, there's no question.
Oh, and he's already lost a lot of it.
Right.
But certainly he's going to lose a lot of power. His ability to forward major liberal initiatives is over.
Done.
It's done.
Done
So he won't
for the
be able
next
to do
2
that.
years.
Make no mistake about it, though. the Republicans, by controlling either or both houses of Congress, are not going to be able to do much either, because
No.
Obama can protect all the big stuff with a veto, and
But they can make him look bad.
Oh, well, they can, and they may be able around the edges.
They can
to
say,
nibble
look, we
away
want the Bush tax cuts extended, and if he vetoes it, they can say, look at this guy,
That's
and they
true,
can do all
but they
that.
cannot by themselves single-handedly continue the Bush tax cuts. They cannot single-handedly repeal Obamacare or take any of those other
You
major
veto
large
that
measures.
stuff, particularly on Obamacare. All right, Britt, thanks very much. We appreciate it.